The days of the broke athlete are gone and forgotten. There is no excuse why a college athlete should not be doing very well financially, given the different avenues that are available for them in 2026. My name is Grant Chasson. I'm a mental performance coach, former Division One quarterback, and pretty active trader and investor. So in this video, I want to explain my input and opinion and thoughts with athletes and money in 2026 and all the things that I wish I knew at 20 years old that I know now at 33 years old as a business owner, as an investor, as a trader, as a coach. I just wish that I put all these things together and had this one single avenue to just say, hey, it's this simple. So in this video, I'm going to explain a little bit about my thoughts and what I wrote about in my newsletter on Substack that you can subscribe to at the link in the description. All right. So article was Athletes and Money, What I Wish I Knew at 20. So this is the mental framework that you need in this NIL era, right? So first of all, this is not financial advice. I'm just a simple mental performance coach, and I like to invest and I like to trade. Please talk to a pro before you even think about moving a dollar. All right. Not financial advice. Simply what I do, what I like to do, what I wish I knew when I was 20. So where did this all start? So number one, I had to make a decision about learning finance right away when I was 21 years old. I was in a near fatal car crash. I was in a near fatal car wreck and I was given some compensation for being in the hospital and going through life threatening surgery. So ultimately it was the end of my playing career as well. So with that, I knew that with some financial stability, I had to find a way to grow, right? I was into building wealth. I wanted to invest. I wanted to learn how to grow money versus kind of just letting it sit and see what happens, right? So I was 22 years old when I decided to start finally investing, when I received the compensation. And I had no financial education whatsoever, right? I had heard about the stock market. I had heard about funds. I heard about mutual funds, pretty much you name it, simple. But now after 11 years of investing at 33 years old, um, I have a lot of wins, but I have a lot of regrets as well. So if I could go back, here are a few things that I wish I could teach myself that pretty much eerily enough coincide with my brand, what I teach, what I coach. So the money itself is not like the hard part of all of this. Like money's great. You think it's what you want, but ultimately like you have to decide who you are before you really dive into spending and saving and investing and your personality type. And also when it comes to highly complex trading like I do, you got to have your whole nervous system in balance. No question about it. So again, the real problem isn't money. Okay. Athletes, you're all trained to compete. All right. Nobody trains you for what happens when the money actually shows up. You think that there's all sorts of pressure that goes into your commitment and that goes into your performance now and people that rely on you, but nothing changes. It's not going to be anything about your bank account. It all comes down to your identity and who you are and what it reflects in your game and your performance. That being as an investor, that being in your actual performance on the field. So when it comes to trading and managing money, like you have to be on your game when it comes to the balance, right? Just like when you step onto the field, you have to be number one. Okay, what's important right now? What's my vision? What's my plan? What will help me in the 5-year, 10-year scope of my life right now today? I met with financial advisors. I had to learn. I had to get input. I had to get coaching. If you want to be at a certain stage in your life in 5, 10 years, find someone who's been there and done that or an expert in that field and help them bridge that gap from where you are to where you want to be without all the hiccups, right? So one thing I wish I knew now is why did I just learn the trading scope in 2020 and then all of a sudden start throwing around money in these trades thinking that I knew what I was doing? I should have done what I do now, where I invest in expert opinion advice and I mimic that expert opinion and advice to help me trade, to help me build wealth, to help me secure profits, when to take, when to buy, all those things. I am piggybacking off of the financial experts who do this for a living. This is a part-time gig for me, but managing money and moving money around, it can be a bit stressful. So knowing what I know now, I wish I would have found, and trusted myself to find the right person to follow 10 years ago. So you keep hearing this term compound interest, right? And there's a saying, it's not timing the market, like when should I invest? Should I buy this stock now? It's time in the market, right? So I started off with my teammates in college doing a stock simulator, and it was pretty cool. I thought I was a genius. We get $100,000 of play money. You turn that into 150 pretty quick buying Apple, Amazon, Nike. I felt like I was a guru. I'm like, oh, I can just pick these stocks, but they all come down eventually when there's no process or no system. Just like as an athlete, when you're not training the mental game, you ultimately will have a huge setback at some point. It will catch up to you. So when I was playing these games, I thought I was so smart. But when I checked the leaderboard, there was this guy who had turned the 100,000 play money into seven figures, almost eight. I'm like, man, what is this guy doing? And it turned out that number one, he was doing something called options, which a lot, was my first sign of, okay, what are these options? What do I need to do with this? But also, he had been playing the game for years. So that was kind of like my aha moment of, it's just going to be a constant learning process. Just there's no end goal. It's just how can I get better every single day? Right. So the ultimate foundation, what I learned and what I know now is just get into an index fund, exchange traded fund, ETF, whatever it might be, and just put a little bit away and forget about it. Completely forget about it. When you start stressing about, oh, what's the market doing today or tomorrow? It doesn't matter. When you think about the 10-year, 20-year plan, even the 5-year, if you just forget about it and just find ways to take that energy that you would in worrying about your portfolio or making money in the market and generate that towards your performance, your training, your extracurricular, your income earning skills, then that's when you start to grow this wealth. And then you say, well, I'm maximizing my skills that earn me money. And now I'm taking more of that income and putting it away towards these investments and watching it grow over time. And as boring as it is, that's where these millionaires are made. It's from just the boring, same old, consistent routines every single day. Earn, save, invest. Earn, save, invest over and over and over again. Okay, your biggest enemy when it comes to growing wealth and understanding money that I wish I knew when I was 20 is that emotions will wreck your account, right? So when I was starting this active trading, active investing, I was checking it like all the time. I was checking this trade, that trade, these investments, and I would freak out if they were just down just a little bit, like, oh, what have I done? But what happened was that I learned that all these emotions, it causes me to do things that are way outside of my comfort zone in terms of risking more money, taking revenge trades, turning that into buy, selling, penalties, on these mutual fund stocks. And you just can't do that. It's not part of what you need to build. It's not part of who you are or what you need to do, right? You're not going to have one bad game or one bad inning and say, oh, I need to change my entire stance in the batter's box, or I need to change my whole windup because I walked a batter. It's not how that works. It's directly correlated to actually how your progress will unfold as long as you stay regulated emotionally. So same thing you do on the field to fix your mindset when it comes to finance. Look, don't worry about everything that's happening in the market. I mean, as you get experience, as you build time in the market, you're going to learn what you can handle, what you can't handle. And then all of a sudden, boom, you look back 3 years later and your account is up X percent. It never fails, right? As long as you have the right guidance, as long as you're doing the right work, you're in a good spot. Okay. So you can't let that bring you down. You can't let that bother you. All right. Number 4, I wish I knew this when I was 20. Discipline is a system. It's not just a feeling, right? You can't just feel like, okay, today I'm going to be super disciplined. It's like, no, the human nature, you're not going to operate at the highest level possible if you're just hoping for a feeling and feeling disciplined and motivated. You have to build a system that's non-negotiable, that helps you regulate yourself within your time frame, within your day, within the structured segments of your day. So that's what I do as a coach. I build out routines in the morning, afternoon, evening for all of my athletes. Okay. 10 to 15 minutes. I make sure that these are non-negotiable and then reevaluate the process, right? Stick to this plan, 14 days. We evaluate in another 14 days and go from there. So discipline in stages. Stage one, stop guessing, follow a trusted source, buy, hold, don't second guess, right? And you find somebody you trust, you find somebody, financial advisor or somebody who's giving you the services. I personally have been using the Motley Fool stock advisor since, I started investing more heavily in 2020, and just let it go and just don't think about it. When they tell you to sell it, sell it. When they tell you to buy more, buy more. Okay. But generate the income and skills needed to generate income right now to help you build wealth that you can put away and keep investing, right? Stage two, budget before the portfolio. The goal is not a Lamborghini. Okay. It's freedom. Automate it so discipline doesn't rely on willpower. Okay. Like I said, I started investing when I was 22 years old. I'm now 33. Right now, I can say that I'm financially independent of needing to work a 9 to 5 or stressing over finding a job. I run a business. I coach athletes. I invest. I trade. That's it. And I can do this from anywhere in the world. And that's pretty exciting to me. So when you think of it that way and you think of doing this so it's not saying you have freedom to, go buy whatever you want. I don't care about things. I want to be able to choose my day. I want to choose what I do throughout the day. I want to choose who I spend it with. And that's what I do now. So I can do this anywhere in the world. And again, it's a constant system. So talking about discipline, you might say, well, how long? The first question people ask me is, how long did it take to get here? And I say, I didn't get anywhere. Every day is discipline framework. My wife is like, are you seriously watching another investment video again? Or my wife is about to be an options expert. The amount of times I put on a podcast or a YouTube video, audio in the car, just constantly learning about strategies, what's working, what's not working, experts, market makers. You have to sit down and say, look, I'm not going to watch the TikTok or whatever video I want to watch just to catch up on, this or that. Or I'm going to take a break from a Netflix episode and watch 45 minutes of a guy talking about his trading strategies and constantly learning. This is every day. It's non-negotiable. What are you going to do every single day to polish your trading and investing? So next, stage three, learn the advanced stuff, right? Options are super risky. I learned that. It's not a starting point. Make sure you do the work. Understand the actual scheme and macro view of investing, of the market, timing it, volatility. And once you do that, then you take baby steps toward building it up, right? So again, when people ask me, how long did it take you to learn this? I say, I burnt myself out in 2020. When COVID hit, I just said, I'm going to learn options. I'm going to take the advanced course, learn it. And that was just scratching the surface. I thought I knew everything at that point. I knew nothing. And I just started throwing money around and I got this sour taste in my mouth because I lost money. So fast forward, I decided to make this my gig, my personal, income, trading style, something I was committing to every day in late 2025. And now it's essentially every single day, 7-8 months later, I can do this for the rest of my life. Okay. But it's discipline. It's not just saying, how do I get rich quick? It's every single day making sure that you are on top of your game, learning. All right. So sometimes the most disciplined move is no move at all. I can tell you literally yesterday or the day before, I sat there, I looked at the screen, I looked at the numbers, the levels, what's going on in the market. And I said, I want to trade so badly, but there's nothing here for me. There's nothing here for me right now. And I just sat back and took the day off, right? I just let it unfold because I said, this isn't the opportunity I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for those real opportunities to dive in. And I'd rather make 1,000 $100 trades than one super risky $100,000 trade, if that makes sense. So number 5, this is the golden era for athletes, man. I mean, right now you could be doing this. So number 5, this is the golden era for athletes, man. Build the mentality to match this right now, right? You're earning money. You have the potential to earn money. Even if you're in high school watching this and you're going to be a power 4, group of 4 athlete who, by the way, they're getting paid tens of thousands of dollars every year with this whole NIL scope. start learning now. Just start learning the basic process, right? Find somebody you trust, find somebody you want to learn under, an expert in the field, your local financial advisor, and just start learning from them. Okay. It's very simple. Learn the terminology, learn the ins and outs, learn what separates the broke athletes from the financially independent athletes. If the person tells you to buy a used car, they probably know what they're talking about. Okay. Don't go buy the new stuff. But basically, money's available at an age when I had to get hit by a car to access any of it, right? So for me, it was like I signed an NIL deal, but I had to, basically get my insides put back together. So I wouldn't recommend that route. I would say just work hard, earn your spot at that next level, take the risk of reaching out to a brand, partnering with them, using this NIL vehicle right now to your advantage. Okay. The question was never whether the money shows up. It's who you're becoming while you build it. Okay. You can't let it wreck you. You can't let the money stress you out. You have to just be able to be totally regulated, to have the mindset of what's the big picture. Each day does not define my future income. It just, I'm present. I'm here. I'm focused. What's important right now? The same thing I teach all of my fearless athletes, right? The same mentality makes a great competitor a great investor. The long game, regulation, and discipline. So, athletes, again, you should not be broke. You should be taking every single cent that you say, I don't need anymore, and putting it away and just thinking about, all right, what can I do in the future? And will my future self be glad that I put this money into my investment account with my financial advisor instead of going buy a new watch or the new shoes? Right. So the foundation's already in you. It just has to point somewhere new. So what you should do this week is ask yourself, what would you do if $10,000 was in your bank account tomorrow? Okay. If you're 18, 19, 20 years old, 21, anywhere in your 20s, and tomorrow you had $10,000, what's the first thing you would do? Okay. And if it's anything besides walk over to my financial advisor's office and have a chat with him, then you need to start learning now. That's what I would do if I was 20. And let me know in the comments what you would do with that $10,000. All right. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, like it. And if you want to follow for more, you can check me on Instagram, link in the description at Grant Chesson. And if you're interested in working with me one on one with the Fearless Athletes, you can simply reply Fearless. I read every comment. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And thanks for watching.